Hello, my name is Nick, and I'm with PastRx. I'm here today to show you our PastRx PDMP automation tool that completely integrates into your athenahealth EHR system, creating a single sign-on solution and a seamless workflow for the physician. PastRx will make it substantially quicker and easier for your physicians to pull, access, and analyze the PDMP data, saving you a ton of time and focusing your attention on patient care. Some of the major benefits are eliminating the need to type in any patient credentials or patient information. We give you the ability to run all of your scheduled patients overnight, allowing you to run the PDMP on every single patient within seconds and not have to spend the time going patient by patient. This will also make sure you are completely compliant with your state's PDMP rules and regulations. Lastly, we process, organize, analyze, and prioritize all of the PDMP data and turn them into specific patient alerts that give you indication of what you should be aware of within the PDMP data. So before I start the actual demo, I do suggest that you click on the bottom right icon to view this in full screen to make it easier to see everything. So here I have the Athena patient schedule pulled up where you can see all of the patients that are scheduled to come into the office that day. Now without PastRx, you typically would have to go one by one and run each of these patients through the PDMP before their appointment. This would require you to go outside of Athena, log into the PDMP site with your credentials, type in the patient information, pull the PDMP report, and spend a vast amount of time analyzing the PDMP data for specific alerts. With PastRx, this all has been done for you already. We will grab your patients from the scheduler the day before and run them through the PDMP overnight. We then display how many PastRx alerts we found in this column here, which you can see Jeannie has 9, Marielle has 1, Jerry has 8. This way, when the doctor comes into the office in the morning, every patient has been run through the PDMP, all the alerts have been displayed, and every PDMP report is in their patient chart. I do like to point out as well that if your next patient is Jessica down here, you can right away identify that she has 0 alerts associated with her PDMP data, as it says no alerts triggered, and move right to the next portion of her visit. There's no need to log in, type the patient information, or analyze the data. That has all been done for you, and nothing alarming has been found that you need to be aware of within her PDMP data set. It's that automatic, it's that quick, and it's that easy. But if Jeannie is your first patient, you can automatically see right away that she has 9 alerts. So you're going to want to click into her patient chart and investigate that a little more and see what's going on with her PDMP. So now that we are in Jeannie's patient chart, I want to point out a couple other areas where PastRx can be shown up. We have the ability to put how many PastRx alerts were found in this yellow sticky note here. How many PastRx alerts will also show up in the patient's recent history report, since a PDMP report was run on this patient today. And underneath, it would say how many PastRx alerts were found. I do want to mention that this is a demo environment and PDMP reports are run on this patient every single day, hence why there are many recent activity notifications for prescription drug reporting. This would not be the case in your actual practice with an actual patient, as that patient would not be coming into the doctor's office every single day. So if you were to click into that recent activity, this is where the PDMP PDF report will live and be uploaded automatically. There will be no need to print it out and scan it back into the EHR and upload it to that patient's chart manually. You can look at it in this view, but I always like to click View Original Image, which will pull up a larger view of the same PDF report. At the top, you will see when the PDMP report was retrieved, who it was printed by, the patient name, the patient address, the date of birth, their appointment information, and the doctor that ran the report. This first section is all of that patient's active prescriptions. We give you the fill date, the write date, the actual prescription, its strength and form, the quantity, the days, the prescriber who wrote the prescription, the pharmacy it was picked up at, and the MME. We will automatically calculate the MME for the physician so they don't have to spend the time manually calculating it themselves. In the middle of the report are all the PastRx alerts that we found after we analyzed the PDMP data. Like I mentioned before, we process, organize, and prioritize these alerts to give you a good indication of what you should be aware of within your patient's PDMP data. Some of our basic alerts here listed are not our prescriber, high dose, multiple prescribers, overlapping prescriber, and overlapping pharmacies. In this section, we give you the prescription associated with each alert and the date ranges associated with them. Underneath that, we give you the patient's full prescription history up to 2 years. This includes all the same columns as before. The biggest thing I want to point out on this report is that all the alerts that we found and listed on this report are highlighted in yellow, or I'm sorry, are highlighted in red. This allows you to still be able to automatically be drawn to the alerts that you need to be aware of and not spend the time digging through the data yourself. We take all of the important information out of the PDMP and display it in a more automatic, efficient, and easier way for you to read and identify. Underneath the full prescription history, you will find a list of the physicians that Jeannie has got a prescription written from and all of the pharmacies and their locations where she got those prescriptions filled. So that is the PDMP PDF report that is automatically uploaded and lives in the patient chart. That is a quick, brief overview of that. Some physicians are very content with this report and don't feel the need to go into our interactive UX patient detail screen. But if you do want to access that screen, you can access it by going up here to what we call the hamburger menu, clicking third-party applications, and clicking PastRx. Because this is a single sign-on solution, you would automatically be signed in and directed to our interactive patient detailed screen, which you can see here. In this screen, on the right side, you have a full problem list of the alerts that we found. You can click into all of these alerts and get full detail on the prescriptions that are causing this alert. So if you click here, she's got 2 overlapping pharmacies. If you were to click on that, this will pop out our opioid graph that graphs out the prescription as to when they occurred. You can see here on the graph that the 2 prescriptions are overlapping on December 20th if you highlight over it. If you highlight over the prescription, it will give you the full information on that prescription, which includes the prescriber, pharmacy, write date, fill date, quantity, and days. That same information is displayed underneath the graph in these prescription tables where you can see the 2 overlapping pharmacies, the 2 prescriptions involved, and their associated information, the name of the prescriber, their location, the name of the pharmacy, and the pharmacy location. We also have the ability to add in the specialty of the prescriber here in the prescriber section. These 2 prescribers are highlighted in red, which is indicating that both are outside of your network, giving you an automatic insight as to who your patient is actually getting prescriptions from. Everything on this screen is color-coded to help make it easier to know what is going on with the prescription data. Everything in blue is an opioid. Anything in pink are benzodiazepine. Purple are stimulants. Green is our prescription. Yellow is a right fill gap. And anything in red is not ours that you should be aware of. If you click into any of these alerts, it will populate the same type of screen, giving you all the detailed information on that specific alert. This is a multiple prescriber alert where you can see automatically that this patient is getting the same prescription from 2 different doctors. One is in your network and one is outside of your network, and both prescriptions are getting filled at the same pharmacy. So it's a lot of information that you can automatically see right away. There's no need to hunt and peck for it. If you highlight over the alert in the problem list, it will locate on our prescription overview graph where that alert is occurred and what day and month. You can see in the red brackets as to where this multiple prescriber alert is occurring. If you click right into the graph, it will bring up all the prescriptions, prescribers, and pharmacies associated with this alert. The dotted line going across our opioid graph here is our high dose threshold. Out of the box, this is set up at 90, but it's customizable, so you can set it at any number you like depending on your specialty. Any bars above the threshold shows you that the patient has a high dose alert. So Jeannie has a few here. The graph, you can click right into it as well and get all the information that you need on that high dose alert. This graph is also color-coded for you. Anything in blue is indicating a good thing and a single prescriber. Yellow is a multiple prescriber, different category. Red is a high dose or multiple prescriber, same category. Underneath that, we graph out our benzodiazepines and stimulants that you are able to click into and get the prescription, prescriber, and pharmacy information on. Underneath that, we graph our prescribers and pharmacies. Anywhere on these graphs where you see double red lines, that is showing you an overlapping prescriber or pharmacy where you can click right into it from the graph and get the information you need on those overlapping prescribers or pharmacies. Another feature that we have is our geo-mapping portion. On a Google map, we pinpoint in red where the patient lives. Everything in green is where, or any prescribers that Jeannie is getting prescriptions written at, and anything blue are any pharmacies that Jeannie is getting the prescriptions fulfilled. If you hover over these pinpoints, you can get the prescriber and pharmacy information. This shows you in an extremely quick way as to how far your patient is traveling to get prescriptions written and filled. You'll be able to identify quickly if your patient is doctor shopping. As you can see, Jeannie is pretty centrally located in this area, but she has a doctor and a pharmacy out in Flagstaff. This gives you the platform to bring this conversation up to your patient and ask why they are traveling a far distance to get a prescription written and filled. They may have a valid reason as to why, or you may have just discovered that this specific patient is doctor shopping and traveling a far distance to get prescriptions filled at. And it gives you a better way to address that issue with your patient. Lastly, on our UX is the PDMP PDF report. This is the same PDMP report that lives in your patient chart. We just give you the option to view it in the screen too. At the top here are all of the patient's active meds. They are one click away. So one click and you can get all of the active meds that Jeannie has currently. That is the patient detail screen and the patient and the PastRx solution completely integrated into your Athena EHR workflow. With PastRx, you can completely automate the time it takes to log into the PDMP. There'll be no need to go patient by patient, type in credentials, type in patient information, run the report, upload the report, or analyze the data. PastRx saves you a ton of time, allows you to never leave your workflow, and make sure you are completely compliant with your state. I hope you liked what you saw today. If you would like further information on PastRx or would like to sign up to have it integrated into Athena, please reach me at my direct line 267-992-4971 or email me at nickd@pastrx.com. Thank you.